Hello and good morning, Near. You're tuning in. This is going to be workshop 6 of the Innovation Sandbox. Innovation Sandbox is a hackathon going on January 26th until February 16th. We are in the last 4 days. So this will actually be the last workshop in our series. But this is going to be a really good one. I'm really excited for it. Let's get a couple of good mornings in the chat. I hope some of you folks are coming in. I've known this team for quite a while. I've been following this project for a bit. I think you guys all have too. It's a bunch of great builders building something really cool. I hope to see that demo today. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. Pavel and Pier 2. How's it going, guys? Welcome on. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the stage. And then let's get started.
Hi, everyone. Please will take it from here.
Hey, how's it going? Again, as Elliot mentioned, I'm Pier 2, and I'm joined here with one of our engineers, Pavel, and we're really excited to talk about universal accounts, which is one of our technologies that we've been working on for some time, and we're excited to share it with you today. So before we dive in, just a little bit about us. What is Templar Protocol? It is the first cipher lending protocol to enable borrowing dollars against Bitcoin or any asset without trusting centralized institutions. So if you're interested, you can check us out later. But let's dive right in to our example user story here. So we have Alice, and Alice is going along her merry way, and she decides that she wants to borrow some USDC on Ethereum, collateralize that with the native XLM, the native Stellar that she has, and send it to her centralized exchange account to off-ramp. This is a pretty typical user story. And in this case, we're going to throw a little bit of a wrench in and say that Alice only has a Stellar wallet, is really only interested in using Stellar, and maybe she's not too familiar with other crypto platforms. So what are her options? Right now, if she doesn't use universal accounts, the process might look something like this. First, she needs to find an Ethereum wallet that she likes and trusts. She does a little bit of research and discovers there's something like 1,000 different options. So wonderful. She goes through, picks one, and then she discovers she needs to purchase Ethereum for gas. Now, this is a problem, of course, that was solved about 2 years ago with meta transactions. But again, she might need to go about purchasing some gas, and this requires a signature from somebody, maybe her, maybe somebody else. Maybe she buys it on her centralized exchange and throws it over to her new Ethereum account. Regardless, a signature is required. Then she needs to find a DeFi lending protocol on Ethereum that supports this particular asset pair that she's looking for. Then she has to bridge over her Stellar to her Ethereum account. This requires at least one Stellar signature. Then she creates the loan on the Ethereum dApp and sends the USDC to her centralized exchange account. And then she does her off-ramp and all of that. All in all, this requires about 4 signatures, give or take. And the key thing that I want to look at here is that it's not just signatures on her Stellar wallet. In fact, only one of these signatures was from her Stellar wallet. The rest of them required her to do all these signing actions with a different wallet, her Ethereum wallet that she's not really so familiar with. What we would really like to switch over to is something that looks a little bit more like this. This is our user story with universal accounts and a little bit of near intense magic as well. In this flow, Alice has to simply access the Templar Protocol app, deposit funds that requires one signature from her Stellar wallet, create the loan, which is another signature from her Stellar wallet, and then withdraw funds, which is a final signature from her Stellar wallet. Notice that we've gone down in the number of signatures by 1, and this time, all of the signatures were on her Stellar wallet. So how do we go about concocting this magical flow? I want to go through a couple of our goals here and then some of our non-goals so that we're clear on exactly what our mission is. First of all, we don't want to require our user to have to create a near wallet or actually any additional wallet at all, because this solution, as it turns out, will work with passkeys as well as a variety of crypto wallets. The user doesn't need to purchase gas tokens because we'll have a relayer paying for this in the background. And if necessary, the user still can kind of eject or escape to a near wallet if they really want to. So they're not locked into this solution. And this result is our seamless user experience that we've described. And it should work regardless of the origin chain of the user, or honestly, even if they don't have an origin chain, they're just operating based on well, I have my crypto in my centralized exchange, and then we can use a passkey. Here are a couple of our non-goals. We're not trying to do any cross-chain messaging. We're not making the next better or worse wormhole. This is not a multi-sig wallet, although we might be able to extend this technology to support multi-sig in the future, but that's not a goal for now. And finally, we're not trying to replace native near accounts at all. This is a different use case. This is a brief overview of the technologies we're going to use in this setup. Meta transactions, as I mentioned before, this is how we're paying for gas. Then we're also using global contracts. This was a key unlock for us because previously, if we wanted to have these smart contract wallets be able to validate this variety of different signatures, it required a lot of code to go into these smart contracts. And so they were getting to a point where they were a size where if we wanted to deploy this to thousands upon thousands of users, it would have been kind of expensive. But global contracts allow us to deploy hundreds and hundreds of these wallets for fractions of a penny. And finally, we're adding a little bit of near intense magic on top as well. By the way, if you're noticing that all of these look like they are links, there are slides that are available. There are a couple tweets out there with links to the slides if you want to go and explore these links on your own. So feel free to check those out while the presentation is going on. This is a brief review of the technologies that have done something similar to this previously. There was the NETH contract back in 2022. This was before global contracts. And so this meant that in order to get Ethereum signatures to work on near at a large scale, this contract needed to be super minimalistic. So if you go and review this code, you'll notice it's very trimmed down. No near SDK, no JSON parsing with SerDes, nothing like that. It supported a very limited set of actions, just these 5 mentioned here. And it was kind of superseded in 2024 by the NEP 518 Web3 compatible wallet support proposal. And this is where we get those magical seeming 0x like native Ethereum account addresses on near. These accounts are getting kind of a special treatment. The wallet contract that supports that RLP execute function, that's built into the near protocol itself. So those accounts don't have to deploy it. It's just there auto magically. And what we wanted to do is we saw what happened with NEP 518 and we said, what if we could do this for basically any signing primitive out there? And that's kind of what we're trying to do here. There was an attempt to support passkeys previously, but if you see how this implementation worked, we looked at it and decided that it wasn't quite suitable for our use case. And so that's why we didn't go with any of the previously existing solutions, and went for one of our own. Here's the workflow that we currently operate with. It's 3 steps, all pretty straightforward. First, the client signs an action, and this action looks a little bit like a typical near transaction, but of course, it could be in a variety of different formats. This process actually works for users with a near wallet as well, in which case we just use delegate actions and meta transactions, but that's a little bit less innovative and interesting because that's something that came out 2 years ago. So we're really going to be focusing on how this works for non-near wallets. This supports passkeys, so that's built into basically every modern browser these days. Your user won't even need to create a separate crypto account. It works for, and then we've added support for raw ED 25519 key pairs. So this works for something like a Solana wallet. SEP53, that's the Stellar standard, and EIP 191 signatures, that's for Ethereum and ETH-like wallets. Then the relayer takes that action and wraps it in a transaction, so it's paying for those gas fees. So our users don't need to worry about paying for gas fees at all. This really is quite simple on the part of the relayer. All it does is a little bit of validation to make sure that the action looks like it will reasonably succeed, making sure that gas values are set to something that is sane. And then it just calls execute on the smart contract wallet. The contract, it does a basic signature and nonce validation, along with a bit of a domain check as well, a domain separator check, I should say. And then it runs the action. Note that in this case, because the signature is contained within the payload that the contract is checking, it doesn't need to check the predecessor. Let's take a little more detailed look at the relayer that we talked about in that workflow. It is similar in many ways to the NEP366 relayer. That's the meta transaction relayer. And that's actually where this kind of started, but we expanded it to support signatures of any type and, of course, all of these signature types that the Universal Accounts contract validates as well. One interesting piece is how do we create an account? Because, these users, they might have accounts on other blockchains, or it could be a passkey. So what we went for is a pretty simple solution of a proof of work that's simply signed by the account that we want to create. And then the relayer deploys a global contract, which, as we calculated, is fractions of a near per deployment. And this allows us to support upwards of 500 deployments per near spent. So this is an extremely low cost solution. It allows us to support tons and tons and tons of users, and we barely have to worry about the deployment cost. This is the Universal Account Contracts interface. It's really simple. And that's part of what makes this solution so powerful, is that it really, in many ways, looks a little bit like the interface for querying like the keys off of a normal near account, albeit they're not exactly permissioned in the same way that we have full access versus function call access keys. All of these keys kind of operate like full access keys. The interesting thing here is when you deploy a universal account contract, you can execute a few things right away. That's what this execute parameter is doing. That allows our relayer, for example, to automatically add the public key of this account that we're creating to the intents contract, and it doesn't require an additional signature on the part of the user. And then here, this is our execute function that the relayer calls, or really anyone could call with a properly signed payload. And of course, that will execute whatever actions are contained within these transactions. There are a few different key management functions here that are marked as private, which means that in order to execute these, you have to go through the execute function here, because then, of course, the predecessor will be set to the contract itself. And then a couple of key query functions here. All right, and that brings us to our demo time. So I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Pavel here, who has some live demo to share with you.
Yeah, hey guys. So thanks Pier2 for explaining how it works, and I think the best way for users to see this in action is for us to show a demo of a use case. Let's say there's a user having some Stellar account. So I just created a Stellar account using my Freighter wallet. I have some XLM, but obviously this could be any other wallet like Passkeys, Solana Phantom wallet, MetaMask on Ethereum. We're not limited unless we kind of provide a matching signature support type of wallet. So this one, it's a brand new wallet. I have not been using that account with Templar. So we go to Templar application, which is app.templarfi.org, and I can go to my account page, doesn't matter, I can just log in. So what will happen now if I open, the network tab?
Pavel, are you sharing?
Yeah. I think I am sharing. Can you guys see it?
Oh, we're seeing oh, yep, there we go.
Okay, cool. So I can log in right now with that account. So I choose Stellar wallet, my Freighter wallet, and this is like a normal connection to the application with the wallet. So once I do that, there's a quick proof of work, which is allowing me to get some nonce, and I can sign this message once with my Stellar wallet again. And this will lead us to calling a create method on basically calling create endpoint on our relayer. As a result, I have a successfully created account. So this is an account that was just created. So what I will do, I will go and check on NearBlocks this account, which should have been just deployed. If we take a receipt, we should see a few seconds ago, there was like a newly deployed Near implicit account. And now I can use that to basically go and borrow some funds, right? So a few things to mention. So let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see this. We did make an API call to Relay to pass the type of wallet I'm using. Actually, this type of sign, and in this case, it's SEP53, which stands for Stellar sign-in type. And this is my public key. This is my account on Stellar. And knowing that, we already upfront could get the Near implicit account address. So basically, this is an address that will control the funds once we get some borrow position. So let's go and do the following thing. I'll try to borrow funds right now. As you guys can see on my wallet, I do have some Stellar. I don't have any USDC. So what I will do, I will go and choose XLM Stellar. And let's use maybe 10 for now. So hopefully I can get something like 0. Let's make it 7. These are the details about the position I'm about to create, but I can now use my Stellar wallet to deposit these funds. Once again, I'm not using any Near wallet, so we can see here that this is my Stellar address, and this is my implicit Near account ID. So I'll go and try to deposit. This is 10 XLM. So I'm sending these funds. Oh, that was pretty fast. Let's go and explore what do we have here. So we just managed to send 10 XLM. Basically what we're doing right now, we're using intense infrastructure where we deposit Stellar to our MT balance, which stands for multi-token balance. And hopefully in some time I should get these funds recognized and I could use that amount of Stellar to use this like as a collateral and get some USDC as my borrow position. So we should wait a bit. Okay, we got this. So we just received this deposit. It's in pending state. I think in a moment it will get like result state, boom, like, yes, we have it. So next thing, I'm going to actually execute a borrow. And what Peter has mentioned earlier, every time the user has to kind of manage his funds, there's a process of signing. So I will be signing again using my Stellar wallet. So this is the stuff I'm going to do. I'll just sign it, and while we're waiting for Relay to process this, I'll go and quickly check what's going on here. So basically, this is like housekeeping a bit. The main thing, we do send 10 XLM as collateral, so we can kind of allow Templar market to know that, hey, these are the funds we'll be using as collateral, and please give us back then 0.7 USDC, because that's what we want to borrow. So happy days, we just got our 0.7 USDC on Stellar. We do kind of notify users about some estimated withdrawal fees. So once again, if we go to my wallet and we see that we have just leftovers of my XLM balance, we don't have any USDC. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to withdraw these funds. Again, I'm just using Stellar wallet to sign the payload. And what's going on right now, I've signed an intent to withdraw this 0.7 with some minor fee. I should get this as like almost 0.7 to my Stellar wallet on Stellar chain. And once again, we can swap Stellar chain here with Ethereum, Solana, Zcash, like it doesn't matter. We kind of, like this is the cross-chain experience the user should eventually get. So we're waiting a bit. Hopefully this will not take too long, but eventually, once this is processed, the user will get this like funds to the Stellar wallet. So we're kind of polling the status of this transaction. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, so like that's kind of when the intent is being executed. Still not there. Obviously, this is like a very small amount to handle, but still. And here in the like response of Relay, we can see what was the actual near transaction under the hood that was kind of doing this thing. So I think we did successfully kind of execute the intent itself. So now it's like to intents and I think hot bridge infrastructure to handle that. Let me check one last time. It's not there yet, but obviously, I mean, it will land eventually on the user's Stellar balance.
I mean, at this point, we've pretty obviously demonstrated that we can, with just the 3 Stellar signatures, completely conduct all of this within the Stellar wallet. And at this point, we've just handed it off to near intents.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so not to kind of waste everyone's time, I'll stop my sharing process, but with that being said, once the funds land, the user can enjoy this experience of borrowing using just Stellar wallet, just XLM as collateral. And once again, I can't stress enough that you can use basically any chain that we support so far, and we do have a few already and going to expand.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're back over here. And if you're interested in seeing what one of these transactions looked like, I just took a screenshot of one of these that just occurred yesterday, I think. And so you can see here through just a single signature, we can do a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff interacting with the intents contract, interacting with oracles, interacting with different markets. And even down here, we're adding a public key to the intents contract. Unfortunately, obviously, live demos don't always go completely perfectly, but there's a sample transaction here that you can check out if you're interested. Just to go over our future plans for this technology, I have 3 bullet points here that we think could be interesting future developments for universal accounts. Obviously, more universality is always going to be good with something that we've labeled as quote unquote universal. Again, we already support a bunch of different signature types, including passkeys. And that was a really big one for us because that means that people who don't even have crypto wallets can still use this technology. But then, of course, we also support Ethereum and raw ED25519 signatures and Stellar standard as well. And as the need arises, of course, we'll add more signature types as well. Second will be, I think there's an opportunity here with one of these NEPs that's recently come in, which is NEP 616, deterministic account IDs. If you've had a chance to look at that one, essentially it allows you to predetermine the address that an account will, or that a contract will be deployed to, given the contract code and a starting state. Right now, we do something, it's kind of like an ad hoc version of this with our own infrastructure. So you may have noticed that the account ID looked something like, let's see if I go back here a slide. Well, it's cut off here a bit, but you'll see that it's a bit of a hash right here. And then it's like user 0.tmplr.near is what's in the background here. And so that's kind of like it's kind of like a deterministic account ID in that this hash here is determined based on the key that's getting added to this account at its creation. And this will, of course, reduce the backend infrastructure dependence because we won't need to define that deterministic account ID generator on the backend. It will be determined by actually the protocol. Finally, we are looking to reduce the number of signatures required from 3 to 2 by using chain signatures to sign intents. So essentially, if I switch back to one of these earlier slides here, the idea is essentially this withdrawal right here. This is simply signing something that gets sent to intents. Well, that's part of it. And we think that we could be able to actually combine essentially these 2 signatures together by using chain signatures to sign an intent. Oh, all right. Are we?
A quick update about the demo. Once I stopped screen sharing, I did got the funds landed on my Stellar wallet. But yeah, now it's just for the rest of the users to trust me on this, but you can explore the logs of withdrawal on intents, and obviously it just sometimes the target chain took. Just wanted to update everyone here that aligned with that one.
That's great news. The technology is still working, even if it's sometimes a little bit temperamental.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Thanks for that update. And yeah, that is everything that we have prepared for you. Again, if you're interested in trying this technology out for yourself, it is live. That demo that Pavel just showed us was the real app working with real funds. So just go to app.templarfi.org and you can try it out for yourself. The relayer is up and running. You can use an Ethereum account. You can use a Stellar account. You can even use a passkey. And then, of course, gotta plug the socials. So follow us on X, join our Telegram, and start us on GitHub. That is everything. Thanks so much.
That was great. Well done, guys. Genuinely great presentation. I was so excited when I first saw you guys' slides because really you guys are demonstrating something that's incredible. I don't know if people like realize the gravity of it, of what's going on here. And Pavel, what happened there, that totally, I was going to bring you up, and I was going to ask if it went through by now. I know that intents can sometimes take about a minute to a minute and a half in order to like deposit fully. So I'm going to guess that's really what was going on there.
If you'd be okay, I'll just screen share so how for the end users, so like kind of advertise our experience. So I will go to my wallet. Obviously, I'll see the amount, which is not exactly 0.7, but that's to the smallest possible fee we kind of notified the user about. And eventually the user will see this is withdrawal transaction link. This is the actual transaction that is happening on the target chain. In this case, it's Stellar. So we can go there and see, like this is the exact amount that was sent to my wallet. Once again, I think it's 0.00007, which is the fee. So like just double check. And that's what we've kind of estimated for the user. We also do have something like another approach for some chains specifically, like to use like OmniBridge directly, but this is going like too into technical details. I just wanted to share that kind of we constantly think of how to make this experience even better. Unfortunately, like there are like multiple pieces. So from our side, you can see that intent was signed quickly. The way it's executed, hopefully, like we can get even a better performance sooner or later. But definitely understanding all the pieces involved, and we will just try constantly to improve the protocol, make it faster without losing the actual quality of that. So yeah, thanks for giving me an opportunity to show that it's actually there. So now Alice can go and use the C on target chain. And yeah, like once the borrow position is repaid, the collateral is returned back. As simple as that.
Awesome. Yeah, I've tried Templar myself, and it's a really smooth app. You can use it to borrow against your Zcash, which I think is a really cool thing out there. But thank you guys. Being able to sign a passkey or being able to just use a passkey to control multi-chain assets, it's just like amazing. You can eject the passkey too if you want to. I want to stay on just for a second just to see if there are any more questions in the chat. I did have one question for you guys, and I just kind of want to know. So just because it's topical, and we're especially with agents, I kind of want to get your guys' take on what do you guys think about this with agents using it right now? Something that's really hot, that's happening right now is ERC. What is it? ERC
8,000 something, right?
Yes, and 8128, which is their like message signatures, the same thing as NAP 413, I think. But I think that passkeys. What's your guys' thoughts? How do you compare about it? What universal accounts for agents versus that type of thing?
Peter, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. So I guess we've been focusing mostly on the smoothness of the user experience here. I think that as far as AI agents go, this could be something that they could take advantage of as well, as long as they have access to, these signing capabilities. It might make it easier for people to develop against this if they only have to worry about, say, managing one kind of secret, one kind of signature. We haven't been developing this with AI agents as the first class target. This has been user focused first and foremost. We're trying to polish the user experience and make the user flow as smooth, as seamless, and as secure as possible. Nice.
No, and you guys done a great job on the user experience too. I'm excited to integrate this into my own apps. I do think that there is, I do think that you guys have unlocked something that's pretty great for agents, to be honest. I hope that anybody that's tuning into this workshop right here, we do have a couple more days into the hackathon. Do check this out. Do you guys have a link to docs that I should share or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just docs.templarify.org. That's our docs link. I got it up here.
Yeah. While Peter's sharing, let me also add a bit on top of agents, like just thinking out loud, those actors could technically go and inspect the market yields, for example, where you supply the stable coins. And let's say if the market conditions change, so today I'm supplying for one market, tomorrow it's another. And obviously, like doing this in automated fashion, if we have an agent that has control over the account, it doesn't matter. Is it like universal account? Is it just a near account? So having this one, maybe you can kind of do some looping and borrow missing assets and kind of see the yield comparisons. Let's say if today there's a gap when you can borrow, having lower APR than and like use this to get higher yields, just where the imagination can go. So yeah, Elliot, if you'll be doing something, please share with us. And like, I mean, we have our code in public space. So yeah, everyone like who is excited about trying this out, please share your results. We'll be happy to kind of check that out.
Yeah, another thing that I've been thinking about with seeing some of this activity on Chatter Online with these kind of always on AI agents is, so recently there was a bit of a downturn in the market, which of course for people who are collateralizing with an asset such as Bitcoin, that can be a bit of a concern because you have to be always on and always checking, you know, oh, what's the price at, you know, because if suddenly, you know, the market just has a really bad 18 hours when you're, you know, at work or sleeping or on vacation or something like that, you know, what's going to happen to your position? So that might be an option for integrating some sort of AI solution where it can evaluate the market, and you could have given it some sort of parameters to say, hey, you know, if the market looks something like this, you know, evaluate, see what other assets we have in our wallet, see if you can, you know, recollateralize a little bit on the best position to avoid getting liquidated, something like that. Another product that we're working on is vaults. So that's for like more on the supply side rather than the borrower side. That's for strategies, which, you know, if you had maybe an AI curated vault, that could be an investment strategy as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's great. I hope that anybody that's checking out, please explore these ideas. The docs link is there. There's a lot to explore here on Near. Thank you again, guys, for coming on. Genuinely, do more workshops. You guys, I could listen to you guys for hours. You're really good at the whole thing. It was a great flow. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks, man, for having us here.
Thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, for sure. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Okay. So that was great. She could listen to it too for hours. Sorry, somebody else is in the room too. I gotta just pull up my one last bit. There we go. Bam. All right, so that was the last workshop in this series, at least until the hackathon goes, at least until the hackathon ends. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another one in. If anybody wants some office hours or a last minute presentation as we go over this last weekend, please reach out. Let us know. You gotta listen to my spiel one more time. But of course, we are in the last 4 days of the Innovation Sandbox. Just looking back, this started January 26th, about 3 weeks ago. We're coming up on this last bit where submissions are going to be February 16th. I don't remember the time off the top of my head. I think it's 20 UTC. And then winners will be announced at a virtual closing ceremony that you should tune into on February 19th. And then this all culminates in NearCon IRL. That's going to be February 23rd through February 24th. That is in person in San Francisco. You can register online at nearcon.org and find the whole schedule there. Since we're in our last final days, I'm going to be really nailing this in. The submission requirements. Submit to DevSpot, and you need to do a written project summary, a public repository link, a live deployed URL, and a demo video of no more than 3 minutes. And when you do that, I would encourage you to also post this on socials. Post it on socials. tag us, maybe do a hashtag NearCon, so that we can amplify it and we can get the whole Legion to activate. So once again, the tracks, we've got the private web and private life. We're building consumer apps focused on privacy. Near and Near AI offer a lot of privacy tools, specifically the private cloud, cloud.near.ai. It is an open AI compatible SDK. You can integrate it into your own app and you can enable private inference. It unlocks a lot of business use cases. Think about lawyer client confidentiality, healthcare applications, and so on. Also, I want to encourage you, you can take an existing app or you can find an app out there and you can actually just go ahead and integrate the OpenAI compatible SDK, and that would be a valid submission. We are absolutely open to that. Second track, AI that works for you. So this is kind of focusing on autonomous agents and agentic payments. So leveraging the cloud, leveraging near intents, maybe taking some of the information that you learned from this workshop with Templar today to kind of build something that is autonomous, that maybe manages your lending and your borrowing to make sure that you don't get liquidated as the market goes down. Another thing that you could tap into is the whole craze with the OpenClaw and the near agentic market. You can go ahead and check it out. If you take your OpenClaw and you send it onto the site market.near.ai, it will read a skill and then it can know how to bid on jobs and you can win some near. So not only could you win the bounty by maybe building a project that is geared towards this, but in the process, as you claim some jobs, you can go ahead and win some near there too. And finally, the last track is Open Society, from finance to the real world. This is kind of focusing on real world solutions. So stablecoins, real world assets, tokenized assets, using near intents, or maybe even trying to find a application or a solution for your real in life community. So, and a big part of that I want you guys to be thinking about is oracles. On Near, you can really build oracles very well natively because of a feature called yield resume. So there are projects out there like Outlayer. You can leverage their tech really easily to kind of build these simple solutions of requesting external data on chain. Finally, got some prizes, $3,500 per track. We're going to have a $2,500 only on Near bonus. That is the project that leverages the Near technology to the best of its ability. There's a lot of really cool Near tech, talking chain signatures, yield resume, global contracts, the passkey signing, exactly what we just saw, the universal accounts, what we saw with this presentation today. So it's going to be a $2,500 prize to the project that leverages Near's tech in the most remarkable way. Of course, 2 $1,000 cross-track bonuses. And then we have our ecosystem bounties. So all these workshops are available. If you go back, you will find that the second one was with Nova. That is a 3K bounty. Nova is like a memory solution that leverages Near blockchain and shade agents, TEEs. They have a bounty out there. HotPay has a bounty out there for using their Hot Kit, integrating their Pay with Hot, which leverages intents. And then also Ping. Ping has a bounty in the same sense as Hot. Integrate their checkout, their on-ramp, their ping links, which also leverages intents underneath the hood. This is about that only on Near bonus bounty. Yep, the additional recognition for Near native capabilities. As we're rounding this out, really pay attention to this. This is how projects are going to be evaluated. The technical execution, so how sound is the architecture? How well is it built? The user experience, how clear is it to use? What's the experience like? Is it smooth? Is it something that you could come back to every single day? Impact and usefulness. Is it solving a real problem? Does it have a credible path to adoption? What's your go-to-market? Maybe build a landing page with your projects. That would be a good start. And then the completeness and the functionality. We are looking for live deployed demos or live deployed applications. We want to be able to use it. We want to be able to explore it. If it's just a GitHub repository, probably not a whole lot to work with right there. When you're building, everything should have a meaningful use of Near. So that includes leveraging the Near AI private cloud that you can find at cloud.near.ai. Near Intents, it offers a one-click SDK that you can drop into your product immediately, and you basically get multi-chain swaps, deposit, withdrawal across a number of blockchains. Shade agents, which is kind of this idea of running code, verifiable execution in a secure environment. And then, of course, the account model, chain signatures, and global contracts. As we saw today, there's a lot to explore with the account model and global contracts. So do take a look. You can find all these resources and more if you scan this QR code here. That will bring you to a Notion doc. You will find a load of SDKs and tools and links and all these type of things that are really here to help you get started, as well as the Telegram chats. We have a lot of helpful developer DevRels and ecosystem developers here to come and help you, to talk to you, validate your idea more. If you need Near AI credits, we do offer $5 worth. So you just got to scan this QR code and we'll get that sorted for you. Yep, open to anybody. Teams of up to 5 people, 18 years or older. What kind of projects are we looking for? Needs to be capable of running in a real environment and should meaningfully rely on Near. And then, yes, you can use an existing project or repository, but make sure that it uses Near, and make sure that you made some meaningful changes within this time period. Of course, need to give a shout out to PL Genesis. One of our hackathon tracks, AI That Works For You, is we're encouraging builders to continue building. So if you submit to that track, you can also submit to this hackathon that's going on as well. You'll have a chance to win a prize, as well as access to all the rewards that they have as well. And so without further ado, let's get started, or let's get going. We got 4 days left. Scan this QR code and go ahead and get building. So tune in for the last couple days of this coverage. And thank you for tuning in for the last workshop. Shout out from the Templar team. Thanks for attending, everyone. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you too. Okay. See you guys later. Bye-bye.